What's up, AJDT family? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh, and I am just your average Joe day trader. Well, it's Thursday, January 8th. It's just about 6 p.m. You know that I want to talk to you about everything you just saw in the intro, and I hope you really enjoyed that intro. Took some time to put that together because I am super pumped and excited about what happened yesterday and today with my all-time favorite stock, APLD. Now, let me tell you right now, incredible results. We had incredible results, both beat earnings and earnings per share and revenue. So it was an incredible result for Applied Digital. I know Wes Cummins, as I listened to the 5 p.m. conference call, was very proud of what they're doing, very proud of the work of the team, the board members, all of the workers, their construction projects, everything that you actually just saw in a lot of the pictures. Their data centers are alive and well and running and pumping and just incredible. And I can't be more excited about it. I've been trading APLD for about a year and a half. Remember it at like $2, $3. Was excited when it hit $8. Couldn't believe it hit $10. Was upset when it went to $12 because I'm a day trader and it kept getting really expensive. Well, now it's up again over $30, and I'm going to tell you that is incredible. But listen to me, a lot of people are being very negative about APLD right now, are really down on APLD right now, even though they just had two of the most amazing earnings results they could have had, quarter over quarter, showing the strength of the company. They're financially strong. They are backed by NVIDIA, tenant lease with CoreWeave, getting ready to introduce potentially another contract lease with a big hyperscaler. They've been talking about it. They also have been getting approvals in two other areas, two other states for construction to build two additional data centers. I don't think it gets any better than this. Listen, if you've been looking for a stock as a great day trade stock or a long-term investment, whatever you want to do with it, APLD, Applied Digital, is the stock for you. And I have been trading it every single day the market's open, and it's been making incredible money for me, and I'm super excited to continue to trade it, although it's a little bit more expensive. So if you were with me yesterday, you know that the video I posted last night was all about the earnings call. Not really the call itself, but actually APLD's results as it hit the market. And it was an incredible boom. Matter of fact, I think, let's go to the screen a little bit. And you can see here, this is the daily. Let's go to the 30 minutes so we can see yesterday and today. So here is the pump we had yesterday, right? We basically had it, close in the market and drop a little bit to 29.66 was the opening of this candle, but it ran all the way up to 32.28, and it was exciting when it happened. Matter of fact, I'm going to put up here my video clip of me going crazy when I finally realized that the earnings had come in. I actually thought maybe it was the, kind of a bit of a pump before earnings actually hit. But then the craziest thing happened, right? Over time last night, sitting there watching, and this was, late in the nighttime. You're talking, basically 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, right? It pulled all the way back further than where it started the day, which was so weird. Like, why would you do that, APLD? Why would that happen? And what I really believe is that you had everybody just taking profit selling out. Now, I know for a fact there were many people bag holding APLD before earnings, and were praying to get probably closer to $34 because that's where it was prior to this earnings call. And a lot of people were holding it at about $34 and maybe even higher. So the fact that it hit and got to 32, people, when they saw it start to pull back, people just started panic selling to get out of it because, the market's still open. And it went all the way down to $28.17. And literally, I'm like, people, what are you doing? You're killing my vibe here, man. You're killing my earnings results, right? But just as my son Alex said to me last night, he goes, my guess is it's going to pull back and then it's just going to start running. And it did. And it spent most of the rest of the post market running up last night. Unbelievable. Back up, pretty much almost to the high of this candle. And it started to get a little bit higher. It was actually $30.98. So almost $31 right here. And then it sort of leveled off in the overnight market. It dropped down, it leveled up, it dropped down, and then it continued up. And then here we are. here we are for the actual market open. And it was sort of like really kind of playing around here a little bit when the market opened. I'm like, is this thing going to move at all, or is it going to be a regular day? Not a regular day. Not a regular day by any means, because after it did the pump, all right, in the pre-market, it did the pump all the way up to $35.50. So thank you, Applied Digital. I got out a hair down from there. I did leave a little bit down, but I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. I made close to $5,000 in APLD based on my shares that I had. I had DCA'd down a little bit and doubled down on my shares yesterday to get it a little bit more, because I had been reading a lot. Now, there's a lot of negative sentiment out there too, but I was reading, and what I was reading was showing me based on technicals, based on, my levels, that I knew it was going to pump, and based on the earnings results. I mean, listen, you got to ride those positive results. You have to ride those results. Okay. So anyway, that's how much I made on APLD and options. My brother-in-law said to me, hey, I'm buying calls, right? And we did them about 2.5 weeks out for January 20th, I think, was when we did them for, January 23rd. I don't know, somewhere around there, 26th. But anyway, we did calls. And when I saw that was up, I cashed those out, made my money on that, and just super excited. An incredible, incredible day. Thank you so much. So El Torito, this is the party. I am eating filet mignon tonight. No, actually, I think we're having lasagna and chicken fingers. But anyway, it should be a filet mignon and champagne night, because APLD absolutely crushed it. Now, what should we expect from APLD now, right? Because look at what actually did happen today. It got up here to about 30, what is this? 34.89, so almost $35 again as this high. And then it started to decline, almost like a falling knife in the 15-minute, right? It's kind of pretty ugly what it was doing. And it as soon as it hit 22 or 32.50 right here, this 32.50 resistance level, I was like, oh man, okay, well, it rejected here. You can see it pulled back up. It let a little bit of a wick. And then when we got the next 30-minute candle and it started to drop, I was like, we're not going to hold it there. So we didn't hold 32.50. We didn't hold 31.86. We almost didn't hold 31.40. Was heading down to $30.91, but it did sort of, reject here at the 31.40. Nice engulfing green candle. Then another red candle brought it back down. It dropped back down, and it's leveled off. And so now in the post market, where it's being basically, it's about 6:30 almost p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's running horizontal. So $31.94 closed, $32 right now. What do the experts say, right? I'm not an expert. I'm an average Joe. What are the experts telling us? The experts are telling us we can probably plan in the next couple weeks to see this thing move in the direction towards 35 again, maybe 37.50, maybe 38. It'd be nice to see it get back to that $40 level. But in this year, 2026, I'm comfortable and confident to say, not financial advice, we're going to see 40, 45, 50. Now, you get some sort of contract lease or some sort of new agreement with another hyperscaler, a big hyperscaler, you're talking 55, 60, maybe $100. But I don't think this year. I think this year we're looking to potentially get into the high 40s, maybe 50 plus. And that's where it's going to be 2026. I don't think we're going to see much more than that. But I will tell you, APLD is an incredible day trade stock for me. I'm going to continue to day trade it, even though it's a little bit expensive. And what I am focusing on, and I've been telling people this a lot, is that if you're focused on APLD and you want to make a lot more money than being an APLD, and you've got the account to do it, then APLX, which is their 2X, is the place to do it. I'd been screaming for months, okay, that everyone needed to pay attention to what APLD is doing, because APLD, right, with this pullback they had, and let's see, this is November. All right, this is November. Let me go ahead and, hold on a second. Let's go all the way here. October 2025. Right, APLX opened up. I just wanted to see where it started in September. Okay, so it had this really nice $25.55 is where it opened up, or IPO'd, whatever you want to call it. They launched the 2X, and it just continued to climb. Monster gap up, came up, filled that gap, went back up, came all the way down, and back down here to $35.50. I had been telling people at this $35, $40 range, buy APLX. If it's a longer term hold, buy it, hold it, day trade it, whatever you want to do, because it's going to be incredible. I know that my brother-in-law's got about 840 or 880 something shares of APLX. I mean, that's just unbelievable. He's got the account. He's the whale. But I'm going to say, I was screaming about buying it here and working its way up. And it got to a high here of $115.94, pulled back down. Well, look, here we are again, okay? It's at a high right now of 101. It hit today. It's back down, closed at $83.90 at $84. You got to hear what I'm talking about here. APLX, because APLD is going to continue to grow. Well, APLX, what we're waiting for on APLX here is their all-time high is $180. That's what I'm waiting for. If this thing continues to pump, right, and it continues to move, what you're talking about here is $180. Okay, so even if, I'm going to throw these on here, I'm going to have to erase them later, but even if we rode these high levels in the day chart, well, we're here now, okay? New level, 101.14, 115, 144, 180. Look what I just did for you all. I did some charting. It's that easy. It's not that hard. So here's what I am going to do for you, because I'm not going to have an extremely long video tonight. I'm going to share with you the levels for tomorrow. Now, here's what I need you to understand about APLD. If it has a consistent, steady, horizontal movement through the entire overnight tonight into the pre-market, then these numbers are exactly what you need tomorrow morning. If there's fluctuation, if you see, all right, I did it based off 3205. Okay, right now, APLD is at, let's see where we're at on APLD, okay, 3202. All right, it came down a hair from what I was talking about. So 3202, 3205, it all applies. As long as it stays consistent and it runs horizontal here through the night, okay, then these levels are absolute what you want. So let me go back to these levels. I'm going to go over these with you. I have not charted these because I set these up for the Discord. I'm sending these to the Discord. As soon as this video is done, I'm pumping these to the Discord because the Discord members get a lot of different stocks and their levels and things they ask for, things they want, and things that I'm creating, things I'm looking for, things I'm working on. So these are my levels for APLD. Put them on your chart. And what I recommend you do is follow my first numbers. So 3260, 3210, 3150, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to look over here in the targets. So if it breaks out from 3260, then your next three resistance levels are 3320, 3390, 3480. If it rejects, okay, this 3210 to 3260 area, which I usually build a box, and let me actually go to my TradingView account and see, here you go. This was for yesterday, all right? So you can see we're way above it now, still in these levels, but the levels have changed, so I'm going to be redoing these tonight. But here's the rejection box, here's your bounce box. So if you haven't seen how I do that, this is how I chart my plays to give you your scalps so you know where to get in and out. So let's go back to this now, okay? All right, so 3210 to 3260 is rejection. If it rejects this box, then from 3160 down to 3110 down to 3050. Now, you don't have to put these rejection box in if you want. Your breakdown, okay, if you did 3260, 3210, 3150, all right, then your breakdown from 3150 is $31, $30.40, and $29.80. So what I'm basically telling you, and here's what I do, I make this very easy because I know I've gone over this kind of fast. So here's what you want. Breakout of 3260 is a bullish signal. Expect 3320, 3390, 3480, okay? Breakdown at 3150 is a bearish signal. So then you're going to see 31, 30, 40, 29.80. Forget about the bounce. Forget about the rejection. If you're just starting to chart and you're just learning how to chart, use those numbers. 3260, 3320, 3390, 3480, or 3150, $31, 30, 40, and 29.80. All right? And those are your levels. When you get more seasoned, more comfortable in charting, then you build your rejection zone and your bounce zone. All right, and it's not that hard once you figure it out. But remember, you're playing support and resistance. So if you're in a trade and you buy it at a level where it hits support, it holds, you get candlestick confirmation, and it turns. And let's just go to the chart here and see if we can see that today. All right. Yeah, kind of a good example here in the pre-market because we had a monster day. Well, we'll do both ways. So here you see we were red. There was a little bit of an indecisive doji. Red, like this is bad, bad, bad. Let's go to the 15-minute. A little bit cleaner. Okay. Here you go. Red, 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 red. Green, bigger than this, and it wicked up to the level of this, but wasn't ready yet. Still red. This is your signal that it's time to get in and buy here, buy up, and you have these 2:15. This is 30 minutes of candle right here where you could have gotten in this one, okay, at $30.82 all the way to the high of $31.61. So you had an opportunity here, to make basically 80 cents per share right here just in this 30 minutes. All right, now, boom, if you got in it and you're here and you see this red candle start to pop, that's confirmation to get out. Sell it, get out, let it ride down. Now, this is the monster green engulfing candle that gives you confirmation that it's going to do this. And this is where you want to buy and get back in. And then on this pullback, at some point you should have taken profit and got out of here. Now, on the downside, boom. On the downside, you're all the way up here. You ride this wave up here. You see this red candle start to pull. This is your confirmation. If you stay in this one all the way up, this is your confirmation. Get out. Because it's running downhill. And it fell like a falling knife. So anyway, that's kind of how the bounce works. And you can see here, you hit this level of support, right? It failed this support. It broke through. It did fail this support and broke through. But it got here to this support and it rejected and pushed it back up. Well, now I'm watching. I'm watching for a reverse. And it did exactly that. A little bit below this support or resistance level, but it broke through, it rejected here, but it kept going, and then it turned again. And that was your sign, your cue, whatever you want to call it, to get in, to get back out. You've got to understand candlestick patterns. You've got to understand these support and resistance levels. So do yourself a favor, pull out your chart and chart APLD for tomorrow if you're going to trade it at all. That way you know which way it's going up and which way it's going down. And I found these since this is my own, my own marks, my own levels. I'm going to tell you that it is about 89 to 92% accurate. There's about 8% that it fails for me. And it may not be the levels. It may be something happened in the news. This S&P 500 is dropping down. Something's causing APLD to run down. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm 100% on anything, but I've had about 89 to 92% accuracy on my levels. So use them. Now that leads us to APLX. And I want you to have the levels for APLX as well. So again, your breakout is $84, $86, $88, $91, or breakdown $80.90 is where we think it's going to break down. $79.60, $78.20, $76.80. $84 is bullish, $80.90 is bearish. That is my scalper levels for you for tomorrow morning, January 9th, 2026. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I hope you saw that Wes Cummins, the CEO for Applied Digital, and I are now in partnership, AJDT and APLD. How could we not be? So continue to keep your eye on this. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the like button. Hit that notification bell. And if you're interested in joining the Discord, you've got to go down in the description and hit the link for the WOP link, WHOP, in order to get in the Discord. If you hit the join button for YouTube, there's something broken with it. It's not going to get you to the AJDT Discord. I know we had a few new people sign up. Send me an email at averagejoedaytrader01@gmail.com. All one word. If you joined and you're waiting for access to the Discord, I want to get you in there. I saw 3-4 people in the last day that did join, and we want you to be part of the AJDT family and get you in there so you can see all the activity. Keep your eye also on Celsius. I'm just going to throw this out there to you. Celsius is one that was called out several days ago by Ravi. I'm in it at $40.50. I got it at, let's see, it's been, 2 days now? No, it's been more than that. I got in somewhere here. Yeah, I got in here. So it was last week, actually. or Monday. I don't know when it was, but it's this week. Today's Thursday. So Monday I got in it. Yeah, $40.50 a share. It's now at 51.20 in the aftermarket. Celsius, we believe, based on the gap, that we've probably got about another few dollars to go. So you see that it's kind of holding very nicely on my level here. As long as it continues to reject and move up, we're going to fill this gap right here. And that's about below the level. So this is where we want to get to. It's about 57 bucks. And then 57, I'm out. So anyway, take a look at that. Thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome night. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Can't wait to see what the market does at 4:30 and the 9:30 bell. Josh out. God bless you. Peace.